this has no right to be this good.
These are kind of cool. It's UV reactive.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I actually like this a lot.
Yeah, see, exactly.
The extensions on this one actually just pop out like that.
Whoa! God, it is so nice to see mods being a thing again. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another video here at Blade Show 2024 in Atlanta. Today we're going to be checking out a very special booth, a collaboration between Jerry Hom, an incredible Balisong manufacturer and designer, and Zippy Balisong, someone who creates incredible mods for all of the Balisongs across the entire rainbow. It's honestly incredible how many Balisongs he's made mods for. So let's go ahead and take a look with these wonderful people and figure out what is going on with this collaboration in one booth here at Blade Show. Hello, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
We are doing awesome.
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Can't complain, man. How you doing?
I've been doing great. So how's Blade Show been so far?
It's awesome.
Well, for Dave, Mr. Zippy, it's been his official first Blade Show.
So this is the official debut of Zippy Balisong
Right. Yeah.
at Blade Show officially.
That's exactly right.
We're teaming up. I think we were hanging out at Blade West, and we were talking, we're like, you know what, we should combine.
Yeah.
And do like a collaboration for a booth.
I think that's so cool.
Dave makes a lot of products that really enhances my knives. And it's like, you know, many different models, like Prodigy, Chimera, the Ghost.
It was a natural pairing because, you know, HOM knives are some of the first I made mods for ever. I was a big fan before I ever met Jerry. When I met Jerry and we got along, the pieces clicked together.
Yeah, it's been a fun show, and I think a lot of it's changing market, right?
Yeah.
In a changing market, makers have to kind of roll with it as well. So, you know, collaboration, especially, you know, for myself and everything, changing collaboration is a big part of it.
In terms of changing market, I want to dig into a little bit later all of the different mods and stuff you have, but I know right now, do you have anything new or up and coming?
So new for the show is a carbon fiber Prodigy. Ooh. And the running joke at the show is I don't prefer to flip this because I'm used to what everyone else considers to be handle bias,
yeah,
you know, Balisongs and everything. Classic, yeah, classic in feel. Where this really is for the newer style of flipping. So everyone who flips neutral knives has said this is awesome, and I can't flip it. So it's just a very different change for me to produce something that I don't prefer the balance of.
I feel like that's impressive for you to even carry something or create something that's not necessarily your preference, but feels like it's the preference of the community more broadly.
You got to really focus on what does the market want? What do fans want?
Oh yeah. No, I actually like this a lot.
Yeah, see, exactly. So everyone loved the Mod C with the titanium before, but this takes it up a notch. It should be great for anyone who wants, you know, neutral or even a hint of blade bias.
Then the question becomes, so you have something like this in terms of collaboration, what can you do to something like this to then modify it further?
Well, to my knowledge, my spacers are already compatible with that.
Really?
So for anyone who wants to add length, add jimping, add color, personalize it, customize it in any way, I've got you covered already.
Wow, that's cool. In terms of the blade, is that the kind of thing that you'd end up filling with some sort of mod? Do you have any ideas behind that?
So let's talk about the blade. I'm willing to be whittled down. If I get enough people knocking on my door saying, Zippy, get your ass in gear, I will do it. Prodigy is one of the few knives that doesn't really benefit from inserts because Jerry's put the cutouts along the edge.
Yeah.
And so the weight distribution here has already been engineered to mimic that of a live blade. And I don't like that kind of thing. I mean, that's the kind of thing that puts me out of business. So you might want to tone that down next time.
Well, awesome, Jerry. Thank you very much. I think you absolutely nailed it with this thing. Now I'm interested, could you take me on a tour of a little bit of your products and what you've brought to the show? Because you have quite the spread over there.
That's right. We can't talk about all of them.
Thank you very much, Jerry. I appreciate it.
Or you'd be here all day.
All right, so we have this sort of booth split into sections over here, and you have done a wonderful job of sort of like co-opting the space that you've been given.
I'm a gas, Will, and I expand to fill the volume that I'm given.
So
I was creeping further, actually, and
then
Jerry pushed me back.
What is going on over here with this pile of trinkets? Okay.
What I've tried to do here is I've tried to bring Balisong accessories for almost every Balisong maker that's here at the show.
That's so cool.
We've got a whole squid line up here. For folks who bought a Tsunami, for folks who bought the Hydro, the Kraken, Nautilus, I've got you covered. You hit the Squid booth and then you come to me. The line of EPS, I've got some spacers, whether you want to maintain the stock ergonomic, I can hook you up with flush spacers for the Wraith, as well as extensions to change the handle ergo a little bit.
Oh, wow, that's super cool. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at this later because I have my own Wraith with me right now, so I'd love to see what the difference is when you actually
I'd be happy to show you.
Awesome.
Here's a bunch of HOM stuff. People love to personalize it, they love to modify it, and for people who want, you know, that extra bit of length, I provide that, and it's tons of fun. So I know Grant from Fellowship's here.
Yeah.
So I've got Gaboon extensions, flush spacers for the Gaboon. You know, people like to flip them in multiple ways. Some people like the stock length, some people want a little bit longer, adjustable balance. All my stuff has adjustable tungsten weights.
I love that you have everybody. I mean, you've got Machine-Wise, you've got BRS, you've got everybody sort of represented here, which is really cool. And on top of that, something that I find extremely impressive about what you do in the first place is just your slew of mods that you've made for so many different things, and the inclusivity that sort of comes from that is so cool. There has been a shift in the Balisong community over the past years where it's, at one point there was a larger focus on modification and customization. You know, people were making their own replicants and bench-made 51s and all this stuff, and that sort of fell to the wayside because I think Balisongs in general just got better. And so there was less of a reason to do so. But what you've done is you've come in and created a reason to do so. Not only do you add functionality, but you add a lot of really, really cool aesthetic improvements too. You know, you really make people be able to customize whatever they want. And I think there's a ton of value in that.
Now that Balisongs are so much better, we have better materials, better durability, better tolerances, better everything. People still have that drive to modify, to tinker, to personalize, to experiment with different lengths, different weight distributions, different aesthetics.
Yeah.
And I am more than happy to provide that because I'm that guy. You know, I started out as the same as anyone else. I was the hobbyist, I was the enthusiast, you know, making stuff and having fun with it, and turns out other people like to do this too.
I've heard you referred to as like the Balisong poke hero in a number of ways, where it's like you'll come in and like with the Vulp, with the inserts to that, it was like, oh, it just doesn't chaplain quite right or whatnot, and then you came in with the blade inserts that really help. I love that kind of stuff. It's really wonderful watching you kind of swoop in and be like, oh, here's a solution to that problem, and adding that kind of value to a Balisong.
Those are the most fun projects actually, because the flippers, the customers, they get the most excited about it. So those are always the most fun, when I can swoop in, be the folk hero. That's a title I do nothing to dissuade people from. In fact, I encourage it.
It's a good title, I like it. Okay, so we have obviously this wonderful selection of mods, and you sell all of your stuff online as well. I would like to try some of them.
You've come to the right place. I think there's two. You could try a stock titanium Prodigy.
Right, I see.
And then try the Zippified extended version.
Ooh, Zippified.
That's right.
All right.
That's a word now, it's in the dictionary. I don't make the rules, but I do enforce them. Get Zippified.
All right, so this is the stock one, and this is with G10 spacers. That's a solid Prodigy. It's a fantastic Balisong. What are the changes that I'm looking for as I'm about to flip this?
Well, compared to the G10 version, you're gonna feel more or less a similar balance. The weight distribution is gonna be very similar, pushed back a little bit. Some positive jimping. There's some tricks where this will be beneficial.
Very cool.
Namely some choker tricks and ladders. It's extended, so it's kind of close to the length of a Kraken, actually. What the extensions do is they round off the corners. So on some fan tricks.
Let's say, let me do a palm fan. Yeah, you can feel the corners kind of dig into your palm there a little bit.
Yeah,
and so I can
it's
immediately
not bad at
feel.
all. But you will notice a difference on this.
Oh yeah, no, that jimping's actually really nice. There's the giraffe, and I'll try a. Oh wow, the palm spin is really. That's like comfy now. One thing I've noticed about kind of all of your mods is everything has a specific sort of look to it, and I think that has to do with the filament you're actually using.
I use polyurethane. For this application, it's the right tool for the job. Flexible and rubbery. The benefit of that is primarily for the extension, you can drop it on concrete and it won't shatter.
I see.
You could drop it off a building and it won't shatter.
So I'm in the middle of editing this video right now, and that claim that Zippy made felt like a bold claim that you could drop the spacers off of a building and they wouldn't shatter. So we're gonna put that to the test. All right, so we are about one story up. I've cleared the area below me. I really hope I can actually drop this from the spacer side from up here. Well, they took a nasty scuff, that is for sure, but they did in fact not shatter, so.
It takes the impact instead of your knife, and you know your spacers will survive it. If the extensions were rigid, that you'd have durability issues over time.
That's fantastic. No, I genuinely really like this, and I like that little bit of extra length that it's adding. It reminds me very similar to that Kraken length.
I have a knife and I flip it stock for a while to just get the feel for it, and then I just experiment with different lengths until I find what feels right.
That puts a little bit more of you into the product. You're not just being like, oh, I'm gonna get it to a specific length or whatever, like you're trying to hit a target. This is more like you're taking the time to figure out what you think makes it better.
Yeah, I'll start with a target and then I'll go plus or minus, see how it feels, and explore. Oh, that felt a little better, let's try more or less. For balisongs where I anticipate people will either want more blade bias or more handle bias, I include the option for adjustable tungsten weights.
And the tungsten weights, I don't know if people have seen this before, they're literally just these tiny little balls, and they're surprisingly heavy for how small they are.
It's about 3.5 times denser than steel.
Do you have anything that uses this adjustable weight system that I could kind of try out?
I have a Wraith in my pocket, actually. Each Wraith spacer can take up to 2 tungsten weights. This one has no weights.
And then I see, so it has inserts that are 3D printed in there.
That's right.
And then the spacer replacement.
These are kind of cool. It's UV reactive.
Whoa!
Yeah. They're popular over here.
I need that for my Wraith. I'm aware of what the Wraith flips like, so I'm really interested in this
now
one.
Now extend it.
Oh, it's really comfy. Oh, that's wild. So there's jimping that is like positive jimping, so it actually comes out of the side. That's a really cool design feature. That feels fantastic. I love doing ladders on mine, and that genuinely I can feel a difference there. God, it is so nice to see mods being a thing again. This just has me so excited. So I know you have not only mods like this, but you also have your own Balisongs that you produce. Is it the Cycloid?
It's the Cycloid HD.
Cycloid HD.
And it uses a lot of the same principles we've discussed. It's a glass-filled nylon trainer with polyurethane inserts and spacers. It's fully modular. You can adjust the balance however you want. These tungsten balls can pop out of the blade, and you might want to buckle up for this. The extensions on this one actually just pop out like that.
Whoa!
So you don't need hardware, because you don't always have a tool on you. Spots for tungsten weights here. You can fit up to 2 additional tungsten balls, and there's even tungsten here now that you could pop out. You can make it more blade biased, more handle biased. When you're ready to put it back in, you can just pop it in.
Wow.
And it makes it really easy to change colors.
Do you mind if I flip it?
Sure. So the blade is fully weighted, but you could still add more weight to the ends of the handle.
And the amount of granularity here is kind of wicked. I mean, you can see.
Will, I know you're a fan of orange, so instead of flipping that, why don't I give you some orange spacers?
Oh my God, and then you can just swap it out.
We'll do a little swapperoo here.
That's so cool. What the heck? I love that it's toolless. That's really cool.
All right.
That's wild.
You're gonna flip better now because it's orange.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at me. Oh wow, I like the Cycloid HD a lot actually. So I remember specifically some of your older products, for me, were far too light. So that was the original version of the Cycloid.
That's right.
Before this.
Yeah.
This is so much heftier.
Yeah, so when you're designing a 3D printed trainer, it's really a balance between weight and durability, because the more metal you add to it,
right?
The less plastic structure you have to actually add strength. With the Cycloid, I took a slightly different approach, and I encased all of the metal, all of the tungsten parts to add the mass in polyurethane, so they don't act as stress risers. I've had a customer run theirs over with their car, and it still flips great.
Wow. Are these on bearings too?
They are. They're on dual raceway bearings.
That's sick. Yeah, I love the dual raceway. It does not feel like it's on bearings, and that's because of the dual race. That's still blowing my mind that I can just pull that right out and move on to the next thing.
Can I blow your mind more?
Oh my God.
You never flipped one of those?
Oh my God. Well, I flipped Brandon's back in the day, but what?
That's the V2. Brandon's got the V1. The handles are shorter. It's got chamfers. And it's just got a little more oomph to it.
It does have more oomph to it. This has no right to be this good, which is wild to have plastic 3D printed handles on a live blade Balisong, especially one that is any good. Well, because I was already impressed when Brandon got his. I thought they were weird and light, but I didn't think they were bad. This feels like much more standardized. Like this is what I would expect when I pick up a Balisong, until you kind of look at it for half a second and you're like, wait, what in the world is going on here? That's sick, dude. Wow.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Good job. More of the insert action happening here. So these little spots that have been filled with the purple. And that's what I love too, is like all these little accessories that you have, they really allow you to customize down to every little detail. What is your process when it comes to like figuring out what you're even going to do with a Balisong?
I need to get to know the Balisong, any personality, quirks, the balance, weight distribution, and then I just start making stuff.
Wow.
It's sort of a shotgun blast approach. I make mods for it. I see what works, I see what doesn't. There's a lot of mods I've made for knives and trainers that never see the light of day, but the cream rises to the top, and that's what you see here. People are really good flippers. You'd never be able to get away with half-assing this.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's really true.
People will, you would notice the instant you pick it up.
And I think that really reflects in your products, the amount of thought that you've put into it. I think it is genuinely obvious. And I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you to Jerry for having you at his table.
Jerry is the man.
All right, well, thank you so much to David and Jerry for a wonderful time here at Blade Show. You guys have such an awesome thing going on here, and I'm really happy to see this getting shared and like the ability for all of these awesome things to be spread to the rest of the community. So thank you, Jerry, so much for hosting this, and thank you for being here. This is freaking awesome. It's wonderful to see you both.
No, and I think everything is a collaborative effort. I think I like that word because everyone's working together.
Yeah, no, collaborative really is the word, and I think it's awesome to see. Huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys are cool. That's also a pretty cool collaboration because it helps us pay the rent. Love that. That's pretty much it for this one. If you guys want to see more Blade Show content, make sure you hit subscribe or go ahead and check out our videos from last year where we featured the Ghost from Jerry. That was a really interesting Balisong. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you later.
Alert, alert, code red. David wore Crocs to a knife convention where people flip and drop razor-sharp knives. He brought no other footwear. Should he have done this? Only you can decide. Cast your votes at www.imnotgoingtobuyadomain and make a website just for this joke.com. Also, sorry, David, I did this out of love. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.